Hello, my friend of shared destiny. When the last light has been turned off and space sinks into the silence of the night, your body has lain down on its familiar bed. On the outside, it seems as though you are resting. But try to listen deep within. Is there still a part of you silently working? Even though your eyes are closed, your mind seems to be standing guard. You are unconsciously monitoring your breath to see if it is deep enough. You are trying to adjust the posture of your limbs to be perfectly relaxed. You are constantly scanning sensations in your body to check if everything is truly okay. You are putting effort into managing your own sleep. My dear friend, that is the state of exhaustion from control. Throughout the 10+ hours of the day, the ability to control is a wonderful survival tool that helps you handle work and protect yourself. But the tragedy lies in the fact that when night comes, that habit refuses to turn off. It turns into a biological threat to the nervous system. When you try to make yourself sleep, you are sending a signal that the body is not safe enough to operate on its own. Please breathe gently and engrave this important reminder in your heart. At night, the body doesn't need guidance. It needs control to step down. Tonight, we will not learn to control better. We will learn a more delicate and courageous art. The art of returning control to the natural life within you. Letting go does not mean disorder. My dear friend, we often carry an invisible fear to bed, the belief that if we do not hold on, everything will fall into chaos. We fear that if we let go of the steering wheel, the ship of life will lose its direction. But look back. Your heart still beats, your lungs still breathe, and your blood still flows without any direction from your consciousness. Your body possesses an incredibly sophisticated and perfect automatic regulation system. At this moment, in this quiet room, the reality is that there is nothing left for you to watch over. There are no emergencies left for you to fix. But why do you still feel tense? It is because your nervous system has not yet received the notification that the shift has ended. It is still running on the momentum of the day. Please understand that. What keeps the body tense at night isn't danger, it's habit. To the body. Now, as you lie still in the soothing darkness, let us step into tonight's core ritual together. Please note that this ritual is entirely different from what we have practiced before. We will not try to control the breath into any rhythm. We do not need to place hands on the heart or belly, nor do we need to practice letting go of identity or allowing weakness. The central axis of this ritual revolves around a single mental act, withdrawing the controller from the system, so the body can operate itself. We begin the first minute with a gentle recognition of where control is still silently active. In this silent space, try to observe if any part of you is trying to adjust reality. Do you feel the pillow is slightly high and want to fix it correctly? Are you trying to change your breathing rhythm to feel more relaxed? Or are you trying to rearrange sensations in your body to achieve a better state? Please do not blame those impulses, nor rush to stop them. Simply recognize, this is control. I am trying to steer my body into sleep. This awareness is the first step in separating yourself from the driver's seat. You realize that you are interfering with a process that is inherently natural. Moving to the second minute, I invite you to perform a sacred transfer of power. Remember that this body has operated perfectly since you were an embryo in your mother's womb. Hearts beat, Blood flows, cells divide without any direction from your consciousness. Your body possesses an ancient biological wisdom millions of years old. It knows how to rest, how to sleep, and how to recover far better than you do. So tonight, in this silence, say to your mind-body system, "You do not need my guard anymore. I do not need to maintain order here anymore. I don't need to let go forcefully. I simply do not continue to control." Imagine you are sitting in the driver's seat of a modern self-driving car. You gently release your hands from the steering wheel, lean back in the seat, and let the car find its own way. You trust this machine, absolutely. To formalize this transfer, whisper in your mind a mantra, a declaration of freedom. I step down from control. Please feel the relief spreading from those words. You do not need to repeat it many times like an exercise, nor force yourself to believe it immediately. Just plant that idea once. You are sending a notice to the nervous system. The manager has clocked out. Now is the time for automation. Your body operated itself long before you were conscious, and tonight it does not need your management to fall asleep. We come to the third minute, the moment of staying still in the state of no one driving. Now, let the body do its own work. Do not chase thoughts. Do not try to edit emotional states. Also, do not check to see how the progress of falling asleep is going. Let everything drift. Let the body operate like a river flowing to the sea. No one pushing, no one leading. At this time, do not ask yourself, "Am I doing this right? Is everything okay?" Those questions are the signs of the driver wanting to return to the wheel. Let the driver's seat be empty. Your physical frame is lying there, but there is no sentry. Perhaps you will feel the body become weightless, floating. Or perhaps you feel nothing special at all. Everything remains as normal as before. Remember this well. Nothing changing means nothing is being controlled. When there is no interference, the system will automatically find its way back to the most optimal equilibrium. You have successfully completed the task of doing nothing. You have returned freedom to your body. Now, let it take you away. Fatal error warning. When letting go becomes a new form of control. My dear friend, even when we have performed the ritual of stepping down from the driver's seat, there is an invisible but extremely sharp obstacle lurking to ruin your peace. It is the mistake of using this ritual as a tool for subtler control. Many of us, while saying, "I am letting go," are secretly observing and evaluating whether we are letting go with the right technique. We lie there and ask, "Have I withdrawn yet? Is this effective? Why do I still feel like adjusting the pillow?" Please be careful, because the moment you try to let go correctly, you have unintentionally invited the driver to return. You are turning doing nothing into a new task that needs to be performed excellently. You are controlling your own letting go. Ironically, for a sensitive nervous system, the effort to relax is just as tense as the effort to work. Your body is very smart. It knows when you truly release your grip and when you are just pretending to let go to achieve the goal of sleep. As long as you crave a result, as long as you want this ritual to work immediately, you are still gripping the steering wheel. You are just holding it with a softer hand. Engrave this paradoxical but liberating truth in your heart. Control doesn't end by trying to stop it. You cannot use control to turn off control. The more you try to force yourself, not to direct. The more strongly you are directing, it is like trying to flatten a rippling pond by pressing down on the waves with your hands. That action only creates more chaotic ripples. So where is the escape? The escape lies in wise indifference. Do not try to stop the control. If you find yourself wanting to adjust your posture, just acknowledge it. If you see the mind evaluating, just let it evaluate. Do not fight the driver in your head. Let him sit there and ramble if he wants, but you no longer follow his orders. Tonight, allow yourself to let go clumsily, imperfectly. Do not turn this ritual into an exam. Accept that there might still be a bit of control left over, and that is perfectly okay. When you stop trying to let go correctly, true release will happen automatically. Relax even the notion of relaxing. Let everything be suspended, unformed, without purpose. That is when the system truly rests. The secret of releasing attachment, when control is no longer necessary. My dear friend, as we lie here in this silent darkness, let us look deeper into the nature of control to understand why letting it go is so difficult, yet so necessary. This is not just a story of one night's sleep, but the story of an entire lifetime. Look back at our lives under the sunlight. During the day, control is a precious, even vital, quality. You need to control the wheel to stay on the road, control work for efficiency, control words to maintain relationships. In the world of action and responsibility, control gives us a sense of safety, order, and achievement. It is the armor, the weapon that helps us survive and thrive. We have been trained since childhood to believe the tighter we hold on, the safer we are. The better we control, the more successful we become. But the tragedy of modern humans lies in the fact that we have forgotten how to take off that armor when the sun sets. We carry that very mindset of must hold on, must manage, into the realm of the night. By day, control is strength, but by night, control becomes a massive burden weighing down on life. In the wisdom of Buddhism, the deepest source of suffering, dukkha, is attachment, upadana, or in other words, clinging, and wanting everything to go according to our will. When you lie down but the mind still wants to control the breath, the heart rate, or when you will sleep, that is the subtlest manifestation of clinging. You are clinging to the notion that you are the master, and this body is a slave that must obey. That very clinging creates friction, an underlying tension that blocks the natural flow of recovery. Contemplate this. Why are you afraid to let go of the steering wheel? Is it because deep down, you have a fear that if you don't direct things, everything will collapse? Do you fear that if you don't watch over it, the body will stop functioning? That is an illusion of the ego. The truth is, a wisdom far greater than your consciousness is silently operating this life. That wisdom makes the heart beat, the lungs breathe, digests food, and heals wounds, without you having to issue any commands. Healing and sleep belong to the land of non-doing, vu, talk. It is like growing a tree. By day, you can put effort into sowing seeds, watering, and weeding. That is necessary control. But when night falls, you cannot use your will to pull the tree upward. You cannot command the seed to crack its shell immediately. You must step back, let go, and trust in Mother Earth. Trust in the sap within the tree. If you keep standing there, shining a light and trying to influence the tree all night, you will only exhaust it. and cause it to slowly die. Your body is that tree, and sleep is the process of sprouting in the darkness. It needs the absence of the gardener for natural life to take the throne. Engrave this core philosophical sentence in your heart. It will be the compass for your healing from now on. Healing begins when control is no longer required. When is control no longer required? It is when you feel absolutely safe. Imagine a child in its mother's arms. It sleeps deeply, limbs relaxed, breath peaceful. Why can it do that? Because it knows it doesn't need to protect itself. It doesn't need to control the surrounding space. Someone else, someone greater, is taking care of everything for it. Tonight, become that child. Hand over the power of control to a greater mother, to the universe, to nature, to the miraculous operation of biology. Tell your nervous system, tonight, I do not need to be the captain anymore. I allow this ship to drift. I trust the flow. When you release the right to hold on, a miraculous transformation takes place. Energy previously consumed to maintain control is now liberated. It flows back to nourish the cells. Rigidity in the brain dissolves. Knots in the muscles are untied. This is called well-being from letting go. Serenity is born not because you have finished arranging everything, but because you have accepted everything as it is. This is a great practice, not just for sleep, but for all of life. If you learn how to release the right to control at night, gradually you will learn how to live more fluidly by day. You will be less rigid before fluctuations, less pained when things don't go as planned. You will understand that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in gripping tight, but in the ability to open your hands to receive what is coming. Now, return to the body lying on the bed. Feel if there are any lingering remains of the urge to control. Is there any desire to adjust the blankets or the posture? Smile at it and gently say, "It is no longer necessary. Everything is good enough." Enjoy the infinite relief when you cast off the burden of a person who must be responsible for the entire universe. You are just a small life being embraced by the universe. Let control flow away with the out-breath, and let peace flood in with the in-breath. You are free. Releasing the role of the controller. Handing over power to sleep. My dear friend, as the philosophies of letting go settle down, we stand before the final door separating wakefulness and deep sleep. To step through this door, you need to perform the most courageous act of consciousness, which is to release yourself from three roles silently operating within: the controller, the supervisor, and the repairer. Try to observe the space of your mind very subtly right now. Is there still a portion of you playing the controller, trying to command the body to relax faster? Is there still the supervisor, opening a third eye to watch for when sleep will finally arrive? And is there still the repairer, feeling dissatisfied with your current lying posture or breathing rhythm? As long as these three characters remain awake, you cannot yet sleep peacefully, because the nature of sleep is the absence of all governing effort. There is a paradox that sleep never arrives while you are still sitting in the driver's seat. You cannot drive the car and sleep in the back seat at the same time. For sleep to occur, you must leave the steering wheel. You must accept letting the vehicle of the body operate itself through nature's autopilot mode. Engrave this liberating mantra in your heart for tonight. Sleep begins when control is no longer needed. Tonight, perform a gentle and trusting transfer of power. Say to that mind part that is struggling to control, "Your task is complete. You do not need to guard me anymore. You do not need to ensure that everything is okay. Please rest." Imagine you are gently unplugging the energy from your consciousness. You are no longer the one trying to sleep. You are no longer the one monitoring the breath. You are just a drifting presence, a peaceful space that is gradually dissolving. Allow yourself to become useless in this moment. Do not fear the feeling of losing control as you sink into sleep. That is not danger. That is absolute safety. When you let go of the steering wheel, a greater wisdom, the wisdom of life, will take over. That wisdom knows exactly how to slow down your brainwaves and knows how to lead you drifting into the land of healing dreams without any direction from you. The feeling now is like you are lying on a dry leaf, floating gently on the surface of a still lake. The leaf does not need to exert effort to float, nor does it need to orient itself to drift. It entrusts itself completely to the current. Let your body become that leaf, heavy, soft, and entirely passive. No one is there anymore to check where the water flows. No one wonders how much longer until reaching the shore. There is only the peaceful drifting. When you no longer have the need to control anything, including whether you can sleep or not, a final barrier will collapse. Gentle darkness will flood in, filling the spaces where control has just withdrawn. You are embraced, supported, and loved unconditionally. Trust. Loosen. Let everything happen naturally. You are safe to disappear into sleep now. My dear friend, before we part in the encompassing silence of the night, I want to leave you with a final message to protect your soul tomorrow morning. We often have an unconscious habit. As soon as we open our eyes upon waking, we immediately check and evaluate whether we slept well last night, whether we truly let go of control, or if our body has stopped being tired. And if the answer is no, we rush into disappointment and think we have failed in the practice. But please remember this truth. True healing is never a single event occurring after one night. It is not a flash miracle. Healing is the creation of a tolerant climate within the body. There will be nights when you find letting go very easy. Your body softens like water, and you sink into sleep immediately. But there will also be nights when old habits of control arise strongly, and your mind still wants to hold the wheel, even though you have tried very hard to step down. There will be nights when sleep comes quickly like a friend, and nights when it comes slowly and leisurely. That is completely normal. It is the natural rhythm of life. Please do not be quick to judge a restless night as a useless night. Do not be quick to judge your ability to let go as weak just because it hasn't met your expectations. What matters is not how long you slept, or what percentage you managed to relax. What matters is that you dared to initiate the intention of not holding on further. As long as you do not add a new burden of control to your shoulders, as long as you stop interfering even a little bit, that is sufficient condition for the body to begin recovery. Your nervous system is like a land accustomed to the drought of stress. It needs time to trust in the rain showers of relaxation. Your task is not to force the health tree to grow fast in one night, but to patiently maintain an atmosphere of unconditional acceptance. You don't need to fix anything at all. You don't need to force yourself to let go perfectly. You only need to be present there with trust. I want to give you one final phrase, a mantra to dissolve all the burdens of effort in your consciousness right now. At night, nothing needs to be controlled. Everything already knows what to do. Practice. The heart knows how to beat. The lungs know how to breathe. The cells know how to repair. The universe within you is 1,000 times wiser than your consciousness. When you stop trying to manage that universe, natural order will be reestablished. Trust in the wisdom of life flowing through your veins. It knows how to bring you home, as long as you do not block its path with the effort of your will. To anchor this state of absolute freedom before falling into sleep, and to turn letting go into a nurturing power, I invite you to leave a gentle comment below this video. Write down the mantra, "Tonight, I release control." When you write those words, you are sending a signal of peace to the entire universe within you. The war has ended. No one has to carry the burden anymore. No one has to drive. Only you and pure rest remain. Thank you for trusting and for bravely facing your own habit of clinging. May the gentle darkness embrace you and protect your sleep so that it is deep and peaceful. Everything is fine. You are safe. Goodbye, and see you in the fresh light of tomorrow. Good night.